In this video, I'm going to show you a special type of shortcut for factoring perfect square trinomials is what they're called. So you can use any of the techniques that I showed you in the previous couple videos to solve these, but if you are able to notice something at the beginning, you'll have a shortcut for solving them. So if you look at this trinomial, what you're looking for the shortcut is you're looking for at the first and the last term, and they both have to be perfect squares. So in this case they are. So 4x squared is a perfect square, and 9 is also a perfect square. So what you do in these cases is you just take the square root of each of those terms. So the square root of 4x squared is going to just be equal to 2x. So we have our two sets of brackets, and we're going to put 2x as the first term in each of them. And then you take the square root of the 9, or the last term, and that's just 3. So then you put 3 here, 3 here. And then you look at the sign of the middle term. So the sign of the middle term is positive, so that means we put a plus in between both of those expressions. And 2x plus 3 multiplied by 2x plus 3 are the factors. We can make that more concise and rewrite that as 2x plus 3 squared. You will also want to just double check to make sure that the middle terms do add up, which in this case they do. So if you were to multiply 2x by the 3 and the 3 by the 2x, that's 6x plus 6x, which gives you the plus 12x. Because as you can see, if that was anything other than 12x in the middle there, then it wouldn't work out, even though the first and third terms were perfect squares. So you do have to check that. All right, let's try another one. So here we have 4 subtract 20x plus 25x squared. For some reason, they like to throw you off and change the order up. I'm going to write this in the order that you're more used to seeing it in. So we're going to go from highest degree and then from highest degree to lower degree. So 25x squared subtract 20x plus 4. So let's look for common factoring. There's no common factors here. And do we have a perfect square for our first term and a perfect square for the last term? Yes, we do. So let's open up those brackets. And what's the square root of 25x squared? That would be 5x. So we write a 5x at the beginning of each of these. Then we take the square root of the last one, which is square root of 4, which is 2. So we write a 2 and a 2. And then what is the sign of the middle term? The sign of the middle term is a subtract 20x. So then we put a subtract in between them. And then we're done. Let's clean that up a little bit, so it becomes 5x subtract 2 all squared. And again, let's check that middle term out. So if we were to do 5x multiplied by negative 2, right, twice, that would be negative 10x and negative 10x, which would give us our negative 20x. So that does check out. So we're done. All right, last example, we have 36x squared plus 12x plus 1. Definitely not going to be able to take anything out of this one because of that last term being a 1. Do we have a perfect square trinomial? We do. 36x squared is a perfect square as well as 1. So let's open up those brackets. And the square root of 36x squared is 6x. And the square root of 1 is just 1. 1 and 1, and the sign of the middle term is positive, so we add a plus 1 and clean it up into one term, 6x plus 1 all squared. Check the middle term, 6x multiplied by 1, and then 6x multiplied by 1 does indeed give us 12x. So there's the shortcut for perfect square trinomials. If you're not able to see the shortcut, that's perfectly fine. It's just going to take you a little bit more extra time going through and doing either of the other two methods that I showed you in the previous videos.